So back at the hangar today, you see the TBM is exactly where it belongs, home. By the way, you've seen this plane everywhere. Atlanta, New York, North Carolina, but this is home for this baby. And
Alaska, Florida.
yeah, it's been everywhere, but what's going on here, Greg? What we got?
Well, I'm going to do a how-to video.
Okay.
How-to video for Bravo Tugs. So this, of course, is a Bravo Romeo tug here. This is a Best Tugs Romeo tug. It's a little robot remote controlled thing. And it's great because it has this little cradle, which is like a lazy Susan. And that lets me actually manipulate that wheel to any orientation that I like. So I can literally make the plane spin on a dime, which is really nice when you're trying to fit a lot of airplanes in. Fortunately, when I got in, it was dead as a doornail and not responsive. So with these sorts of things, they have a series of batteries in series and in parallel and a complicated array, and you need to make sure every battery is good or it won't charge and it won't operate. So to that end, I have sequentially been taking this Napa charger here and charging each of the batteries and bringing them back into the fold and to live again.
Can you say how many batteries this thing has?
Well, this one's 6.
Jesus Christ!
And so I think they have a series parallel arrangement.
This is like mini airplane. This is actual like the same size of batteries you see in small airplanes.
Maybe, yeah. They're all little 12-volt AGM lead acids. You can put whatever you like in them, but the weight is actually helpful for a tug. So you typically do want the extra weight and the lead. And supposedly they should be strong and should be able to bring them back. Well, so that you don't repeat my mistake, there's apparently not enough to leave the tug in the connected position. That's the battery connector right there.
This right here?
No, that's the charger. This is a battery disconnect right here. So that has to be disconnected when you're leaving the tug for a long period of time, or really any period of time. I, however, committed the sin of believing erroneously that if I left the charger running, it wouldn't matter. It turns out it matters. And as such, I am now fixing all the batteries. If this ever happens to you, and you want to bring your batteries back, do them in isolation. Don't leave them connected, in series or parallel. Otherwise, this little guy is going to tap out and not work. So I've just been disconnecting and reconnecting each battery and charging them up individually. And I'm really hopeful that this little guy is gonna fire up.
Yeah, that would be amazing. You've been at it like since we got here, like 2 days now.
Yeah, well, you've got to give each battery a chance to charge up. But it's hopeful. Meanwhile, it's always good to have a spare.
Well, yeah, there you go. There's another one here. Can you tell the people how much this actually costs and what type of aircraft, the size of aircraft to justify a sophisticated tug like this?
Okay, well, so the company is called Best Tugs, and if you've been in aviation, you'll know them. They're really good. They do a very high quality. Like, I'm an electrical guy, so I actually kind of admire the way they've designed and arranged things here. But they have like a whole series of things. This Romeo is overkill for this airplane. So this Romeo is meant to move a lot of weight. It can move a much larger aircraft, and it has this kind of carousel where the wheel locks in and it can individually spin so that, well, it's locked right now, but it can individually spin so that you don't have to spin your front nose wheel to actually maneuver an aircraft.
It's pretty cool.
And I typically, when I'm looking at tugs, and I recommend most people think about this, remember that the damage to your aircraft is so much more than saving money on the tug. You want something that is going to be effortless in terms of moving your aircraft up an incline or whatever. And so I tend to do a little overkill. Plus, you never know what you're going to get into. You might get into bigger aircraft all the time, and why then do you want to keep changing your tug out? This will be good for any aircraft of pretty much any kind. So how expensive is it? I would refer you to Best Tugs, but they're pretty much the price of a small automobile. So if that gives you any sense, they're very, very expensive. But they have a lot of safety features and a lot of other things. And again, one of the things with this airplane you gotta be really careful of is, you know, I have a low prop clearance.
Right.
And you really got to make sure that you've got a tug that's not going to accidentally. Wow. So see this right here?
Look at that.
Okay. See, this would be a bad thing.
That is.
So here's how you can have a bad day, Mike.
Lot.
Let's talk about it. Here's how to have a bad day with a TBM and a tug. And when you have an aircraft like this with such a low prop clearance, and particularly when you go to an FBO, some FBOs won't even be able to move it because they can't use the tugs that they have. So here would be an example of how to have a bad day, okay? Have your prop exactly like this, and you know, put it on a tug like this, move your airplane around, and then release or drop your airplane. Boom. And you'll, if the best happens to you, you'll penetrate the tug and you'll be okay. Worst happens to you, one of your props will be a little shorter than all the others.
Jeez.
Yeah, and we don't want that. So yeah, that's how to have a bad day with a low prop clearance, and one of the things you got to be careful of with the tug, right? Absolutely. Particularly for these kinds of airplanes. But anyway, in a follow-up episode, we'll let you know if my battery resuscitation ended up working.
There you have it from Alpha Papa himself. I hope you guys stay tuned for more. Checking out.